Captain at the Bay, week 9 is approaching. I'm your host, Eric Cooley. At the bottom of me is Patrick Grigsby with us as always. To my right of the screen on this side is Ryan Flynn back with us. And we actually have a new guest, and that is Austin Gonzalez, fan of the Detroit Lions. I'm even supporting him for some odd reason. Don't know why I still have Lions gear with me, but
He needs some love.
I'm glad I'm glad to have I'm glad for something like this to be spreading all around because Austin is in California, and of course we got Grigsby, Flynn in the Arkansas location, Missouri, I think. So let's get right to it. I mean, week 9. Luckily, my Steelers are on a bye week, but for some odd reason, I'm still, concerned about them. But let's jump right to it. I mean, trade deadline just ended. We saw a couple of them that were like pretty out there, like out of nowhere.
Record number of trades on the day of the trade deadline is since the merger.
Exactly. But let's jump right to it. For my Steelers, I mean, I kind of saw this coming. I kind of saw this going to the Packers and Chase Claypool, but Chase Claypool going to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a second round pick. In my opinion, that was, a steal for us kind of thing. A second rounder, and we get to get rid of the guy who was causing trouble in the locker room. I mean, hey, let's go ahead and just give him to 3-5 record Chicago Bears kind of team, and then we get Calvin Austin in there and let him progress with the team that the Steelers have. So Claypool going to the Bears, I gotta give that a C minus. Yeah, he's a good deep route runner. He got that built on him, but just the trouble he causes in the locker room, good. It's like a good riddance kind of thing. What we also saw was earlier before the trade deadline was Christian McCaffrey going to the 49ers. That was, I don't know the term to call it, but that was an RKO out of nowhere kind of thing. Injury prone CMC going to the 49ers, and the Panthers received a second, third, and a fourth round pick in the 2023 draft and a fifth round pick in 2024. So Panthers definitely won that trade. And like I said, with CMC always injured, going to the 49ers, I got to give that a C+. So those are the ones that I was more concerned about. But let's go over to Grigsby. I mean, I know the Chiefs had a couple of trades, but what do you think about the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, there was from a Kansas City perspective, it wasn't as good as I was hoping for. We did clear up a lot of cap space, so OBJ is still in the conversation. No, yeah. So, I mean, there were two solid moves. We've had some problems on special teams this year. I think they addressed that with the Tony trade. He's already practicing punt returns for them. Moore's dropped a couple. He's definitely underperformed since he's been there. So I think that's a solid pickup. That dude is freaking dynamic and had like close comparisons to Tyreek Hill coming out of college, which is not an easy comparison, right? There was definitely a couple big winners and a couple big losers from this weekend. Honestly, everybody, I've heard all this rave about the Dolphins getting Bradley Chubb. That dude has he had one good year. Like, that dude got 12 sacks his rookie season and has only had 14 sacks in the consecutive 4 years since, right? So like you don't hear his name much outside of the Mile High Stadium. So like they gave up a whole boatload of pick, gave a first rounder for him. I think they overpaid for him. I think it will help them, and they're in a win now situation, especially Tua playing a little better than everybody expected. The one that really surprised me was Jaguars getting Calvin Ridley. I think that's going to be huge for Trevor Lawrence, man. Like that's the equivalent of Josh Allen getting Stephon Diggs, right? Ridley is one of the most underrated receivers in the league. He's behind Julio Jones forever, right? So he's always the number 2 option, but that dude, he's that dude. So and they got him fairly cheap, for a 5th and a 2nd. And then it's not next year's 2nd, it's a 2-year 2nd. Obviously he's out rest of the year. The Bears made some good moves. I think Claypool is a good fit for them in what they need and what they're looking for. I think obviously they believe in Justin Fields. And then San Francisco is a big TBD. I can't even give that one a grade, dude, because I don't know a CMC. I don't know if he's going to be on a stretcher in 2 weeks or not. So if he stays healthy, it'll be worth it. But they gave up a lot, man. A 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th next year, and then a 5th the year after. So if that dude goes on IR in about 3 weeks, that's a huge miss or a huge whiff on their part. If he stays healthy, they are probably, top 2 teams in the NFC at this point, top 3. So that was a good one. And then there's bigs and losers, dude. There's guys that made moves that like the Ravens, like Bateman's out for the year and they still have not got a wide receiver. And I don't they did go get Roquan Smith, so like their defense was kind of suspect with their secondary is the problem, and they went and got a linebacker, so I don't know much that's going to help them. And they have no receivers. Like they have at this point, I think I know more Packers receivers than Ravens receivers. So that's a problem. And then the Packers are the other losers, dude. Like Rodgers has a $50 million cap hit next year. What are you gonna do? Like who are you gonna throw the ball to, bro? Like he needs some help, and they didn't do nothing. Like I said, OBJ is still on the table, but I wouldn't go to the Packers about his OBJ. Like they ain't winning games. They got problems outside the wide receiver, but it was still a huge miss. When you got Aaron Rodgers, it's a win now situation every year. So especially at this point in his career.
But before I give it over to Ryan, did you see, why Calvin really got suspended was because he was betting.
He was betting on the Jags. He was betting on it was to cover for the Jags, and he goes to the Jags.
And now he's going to the Jags. So
I hope they covered.
Yeah. And then Falcons received a conditional 4th round pick in 2024.
That was my best. That's the highest grade I have out of all the trades that happened. That's one of the sneaky ones that that's gonna be a game changer for them, dude. He went and got himself wide receiver 1.
Yeah. Ryan, I know he touched a little bit on the Chiefs, but what do you think?
On who? Chase?
Chiefs.
Oh, Chiefs. Yeah, the Kadarius Toney one. Honestly, it wasn't very impressive.
TBD.
Yeah, exactly. Like he does have a lot of potential to do great, but really where I see the value is just special teams. Sky Moore has muffed so many punts this year, and it's driven me crazy. And if nothing else, Toney will fill that hole. So, at least there's that. But really, I wish we would have done more. And seeing Fenton go, I didn't like that. We're already kind of light at cornerback. So, to lose another, it just didn't feel good. But really, what I was more impressed with was the Niners and the Dolphins. So, sure, they may have overpaid, but these are both teams that are talking about a Super Bowl. And once you add CMC to that roster for the 49ers, I think you can put them in the Super Bowl conversation. Now, of course, he has to stay healthy.
As long as he's playing.
If he's playing, even if he gets hurt for 3-4 weeks in between, they're still going to be able to survive. And if he's playing in playoffs, it could make a huge difference. Same with the Dolphins and having Chubb there. They've been struggling on defense. Tua and Reek and Waddle can go and put up 40 points a game, but their defense has been giving up 40 points a game. So it's like adding that bigger piece, even if he isn't worth a first, it makes a big difference. Like they actually can say that they're competing for a Super Bowl now because of those trades. So even though the value may not have been there, I still think those was kind of the big standout of the trades.
Yeah. The reason why I let Austin go last because of the unexpected trade and TJ Hawkinson going to the Vikings, a division rival, that is. So, Austin, what do you think about that?
Yeah, man, I can't believe they did it. I think I was on the phone with Patrick. I don't know if somebody.
We were on the phone.
Oh, you guys. Yeah, we were all on the phone.
We were.
And
I thought Cooley was just
those are
joking.
Vikings too. Like,
Yeah.
why are you losing to the Vikings? I mean, obviously the Vikings, they just lost their tight end for the rest of the season. So it's going to help them for sure. And they're already doing good. I mean, they already got all these weapons. Add that guy. Like, I can't believe the Lions did it. So the only thing that I see, like, I mean, other than being a Lions fan and just feeling like, wow, you guys really just gave up, is they did clear up $13 million in cap space for next year. But their next tight ends are Brock Wright and James Mitchell. You guys ever even heard of those dudes? Like,
Who?
Good question.
Brock Wright and James Mitchell. Those are their tight ends now. And it's like, yeah, you're on the Lions, but like, if you look at the Lions record, they essentially should be 5-2 right now. So they have that one win against was it Washington? Their other 4 games, so they lost. They got smoked by the Patriots 29-0, I think, and then the Cowboys pieced them up pretty good. But other than that, their other 4 games are decided by less than 4 points or less, and they're winning until the fourth quarter. So I don't know if you guys watched Hard Knocks this year. Their word of the year or whatever was grit. If I had like any way to get a hold of Dan Campbell and tell him, dude, their word should have been finished, because these dudes cannot finish. I mean, I don't know what they got to do, but I don't know. The Vikings, being a Lions fan, it's a good trade. If you think about the money. So, but for the Vikings, man, it's an A, like, for sure. The Lions, they're just
Absolutely.
man, they're just gonna keep on doing Lion things. So I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say on that.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing, dude. It's really disappointing. But again, the Lions are 1-6, so they're thinking about next year already, which I feel like they do every single year. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to touch on that CMC trade. I do think that if he stays healthy, big if there, I have the 49ers winning the West. I don't think that anyone's going to be able to stop their offense, dude. They're literally unstoppable. Their defense is pretty solid, but their offense can carry them. Even with Garoppolo, as long as he doesn't choke, I really think that they'll do things as long as he stays healthy. So I think that's a great trade, man. I like watching that dude play too. I'm over here in California, obviously, so I always get to see those games on TV. And yeah, dude, he's exciting to watch, but he always gets hurt. So I don't know, man.
Jimmy G has 0 excuses.
I know, right? Now it's gonna let Debo be a receiver too.
0.
Like he doesn't have to play running back, receiver, everything. Like
They're still gonna have him playing running back. You know that they are.
Yeah, maybe sometimes, but not. Well, now they got rid of Jeff Wilson too. So yeah, I mean,
He won't be a bell cow.
Run those jet sweeps and
Yep.
stuff. Dude, let him go deep and let him catch the ball and run. Really,
Right.
Forget about being a deep route. They got Ayuk and all that, but yeah, dude, the Lions, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, Lions received a 2nd-round pick in 23 and 3rd-round pick in 24. So, I mean, I don't watch a lot of college football, so I don't know the top tight ends in college now, but maybe
I
pick
think there's a
somebody
good one
up
for
there.
Notre Dame. It's supposed to be a Haas.
Yeah,
Georgia's got that freak one too. He's like 6'5", big dude. He's hurdling people. That's a problem.
But that's the thing, though, is they had Hawkinson. So why are we talking about next year when we're only in early November? You know what I mean?
Now you don't gotta pay him. Let Minnesota pay him.
That's true, and they do free up that cap space to go after whatever they want. But
Actually, get a defense.
But
their defense is trash. That's for sure. I mean, they got a couple good dudes, but yeah, other than that,
They're on pace to give up the most points in NFL history.
I wouldn't doubt it, bro. That's the most Lions thing I've heard all day. So,
Garrett Griffin, by the way, 28 years old and came from Air Force. So yeah, 28, never really heard of him. James Mitchell, 23 years old, came from Virginia Tech. So, I mean, I don't know what they did during college. I pray for you, brother. But yeah, I hated that for you.
Good, but I think he's only had 2 games ever of 100 yards. Like, he's good, but he's not.
they don't use him like they use like he's a pass catching receiver and they don't really use him like that, right? Like they're a run.
Yeah, but they got DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying though, right?
And
Like,
and
like
Amon St. Brown.
he's in a better situation in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, I think he definitely won that trade for she's going to a winning team, bro. He's like, what is this, bro? What does W mean?
He went to bed in last place and woke up in first place.
Yeah, woke up a Viking.
And
Man.
like, dude, the Vikings, now that they have him, I mean, they're dangerous on offense for sure, and their defense is solid too. You know, so
Hey, they just gotta play on Sunday. As long as they play on
at
Sunday,
noon.
they're all
At
right.
noon. Can't
At
be
noon,
prime
at
time.
yeah. No, I mean, I definitely have Minnesota winning the North, but that's not very hard to do right now. So
Yeah, they're gonna play Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins on that Monday night playoff game now.
yeah,
So I'm glad that we mentioned playoffs. Playoffs. We talking about playoffs?
Hey, bro, we halfway there.
talk about
We
prep.
are officially halfway there. So I mean, we might as well just go to see the 7 teams we are most likely to see in the playoffs for each conference. So I mean, I'm not going to get all into it, seeing as how it's 7 teams for each conference. AFC, I'm just going to ramble off with it. Buffalo Bills, easy AFC East winner there. Next one I have, and this was, we just covered it. Baltimore Ravens. Right now I have them as the North winners. Unfortunately, Kansas City Chiefs. I have them winning the West, and the Titans winning the South. Which, the quarterback issue there, I don't really trust Tannehill, so Derrick Henry really has to carry that load for the offense. The wild card definitely confused me here. The easy wild card for the AFC is the Los Angeles Chargers with Herbert. Next one is Miami Dolphins. And this was only because of the remaining schedule. I unfortunately had the Cleveland Browns being the 7th team making the playoffs. That definitely gave me a mini stroke there, but I just see that happening. Besides those 5 teams, the Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers, Titans, and maybe the Dolphins, it's a luck of the draw to whoever's going to earn that last spot in the AFC. I want to start with Ryan. Do you have any different teams?
Yeah,
Or-
definitely. Your 4 winners, division winners, I had the same. But the biggest shocker I think for everybody will be I don't have Chargers making it. They've got so many injuries. They're getting hurt. I mean, they're not playing their best ball. Even though their roster is loaded, they're not playing the best ball with it. Like that's I just don't see them making it. I do have the Dolphins in. The one I think you forgot is the Bengals. You have the Browns over the Bengals, which once Jamar Chase comes back, they're going to go back to win it. Like, I know he's going to be out for a while, and Joe Burrow apparently can't do anything without him, but I still have faith in them, and you know, their defensive backs are tough. So I have Bengals coming in, and then my last one that's going to make it in, they're the sleeper of the year. It's going to be the Jets. They're shocking people. I don't like it, but that's why it'll happen. There's always got to be that one person that's like, or that one team that nobody expects to make in, and then they just happen to do it. And that's the Jets this year.
Okay, so real quickly, the reason why I didn't have the Bengals is, first off, they lost to the Browns and they lost to the Steelers so far. The remaining schedule for them, listen to this: at Steelers, at Titans, versus Kansas City, versus Cleveland, at Tampa, at New England, versus Buffalo, and versus Baltimore to finish the regular season. That right
I see
there.
them only losing
is-
3 there.
Oh,
I
no,
see them
I don't
beating the
know.
Bucks.
Hey.
They're going to beat the
way.
Saints for sure. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. 3, maybe 4 out of that.
And
I
especially
see them
not
making
having
playoffs.
Jamar.
There is 3 to 4 winnable games in
They
that.
play much better against good teams too, though. Like I feel like they have a harder time with the teams that aren't as good compared to when they play the Chiefs, the Bills, whoever, because there's more pressure on it. It's why
Yeah.
they made it to the Super Bowl.
Hey, Bros is undefeated against Mahomes.
I'm just
That's
glad
smart
that
choice, but
TJ Watt will be back for the second game against the Bengals. And that offensive line is not going to protect Burrow from the likes of TJ Watt. They're also not going to protect the Chiefs defense. They're starting to get better. Patriots, Bills, Ravens, and especially at Tampa, that's not going to happen. Burrow is going to have.
Tampa has not done much this year. I'm not impressed by what Tampa's done this year. I mean,
Yeah, it's a back and forth kind of thing for them, but I think I believe in their defensive coordinator and Larry Foote. But let's go to Austin. What do you think about the AFC?
I had everyone that you had said also. I also do think Cincinnati's going to get in there. I did see their schedule, and I do think that it's tough if you look compared to like the Ravens schedule. But I think Cincinnati's going to do it, man. I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl last year. I know all the time we see people go to the Super Bowl, and then the next year they lose all their people and whatnot. But if they get Jamar Chase healthy and Joe Burrow, dude, that dude's daddy. Like he can do it. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna be smoking a cigar in the playoffs, giving everyone the big middle finger. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the only difference I had in the AFC is Cincinnati making it.
All right, Grigsby.
All right. I actually have all the same teams as Cooley. So I also looked at the upcoming schedules for the AFC. I went pretty deep in the AFC. I didn't spend as much time on the NFC. But yeah, dude. So like Cincinnati, like not only do they have a nasty like end of the season, but like they're not 0-2 in the division. They're 0-3 in the division. Right. And so like I got Cleveland in there. So like Cleveland, so check this out. So like on the back end, like they face a couple good teams, but they face Houston, Cincinnati, who they own, New Orleans, Washington, and Pittsburgh. Right. That's 5 winnable games. Right now they're 3-5. So that's 8. Their next 2 games are Buffalo and Tampa Bay. As long as they beat Tampa Bay, they'll be a 9-win team potentially, right? So you're gonna have a 9-win team in the AFC make the playoffs. So I think it's going to be the Browns as long as Deshaun Watson comes back and is at least 85% of himself. Right.
You got to stay away from those massages first.
Hey, right. Well, hey, they had the convention in Cleveland, bro. I'm sure he got like VIP access. So, right. So, but no. So yeah. But yeah, no. So I got the Browns. So I got the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Titans. Don't slip. Man, I keep hoping the Jaguars are gonna be good, but they just keep losing at this point. Like I think it's past. I think that ship has finally sailed. But yeah, right now, as long as the Titans, I think will keep winning enough to get in there. And then, like I said, Dolphins, although they overpaid for Chubb, like he's a good piece for them. He's gonna bolster their defense. They should do better. And then I got the Browns and then the Chargers too. I think the Chargers are gonna sneak in there, but they do have serious problems, right? Like J.C. Jackson's out for the season. Keenan Allen just had a major setback with his hamstring, so he's going to be out for a while, which I don't know why I drafted him in fantasy because he is yet to play. Same with Michael Thomas. Man, he gave me like 2 good weeks and has been out for the season. But yeah, so I think, like the top 4, I think are pretty clear cut. I think it's pretty easy, but that 7th, so like the contenders too, right? So you got the Jets, Cincy, New England, and then possibly Indy. I don't think they'll make the cut, but out of those 3, so the Jets, New England, and Cincy all have nasty schedules. They have like 3 to 4 winnable games. Every single one of them play Buffalo on the back end, with some of them playing Buffalo twice. The Jets and New England both play Buffalo twice on the back half. They got Seattle, Minnesota, Miami, both of them, right? Like so, like that's just brutal. They're gonna get beat up, man, the second half of the season. So I think the Browns might sneak in there. Like I said, as long as Watson's even a little bit of himself. Which he didn't look like in training camp.
You guys would have been banned if you added Denver Broncos to that list.
I almost thought about it. I went through their schedule. They actually have like the back half of their schedule is not that bad. I don't believe in And Russ, I don't trust.
Banned. I already told you guys I didn't have any trust whatsoever in Russell Wilson. So the fact that given Drew Lock away, who was not doing that bad of a job for Denver, I mean, yeah.
Russell Wilson had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to throw to before. I don't know why people thought he was going to go to Denver and have Judy and Sutton and be so much better. Like that didn't. I don't get it.
So that's because they never had a real good quarterback to show their true potential. So everybody thought the potential was there, but when also I don't think Russell Wilson's 100% the problem either, right? Like a lot of that's on their coach. Like there's poor clock management, like bad play calling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot. It's hard to overcome. But they're paying him $250 million, so he better figure it out.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of plays where you see a wide open guy and he's throwing down here to some check down who's actually like covered as could be. He's got somebody standing in the middle of the field right in front of him wide open, but instead he's trying to do something.
He don't run anymore either. He don't run.
He does not run at all.
He needs to do some more high knees on an airplane, apparently.
He's doing Sierra in an airplane.
Golly. That guy has the perfect life at that point because of it. Now let's switch it over to NFC. I mean, even though we all agree that AFC looks a lot tougher than NFC, but just because of the 7-on-7 kind of teams, yeah, AFC definitely hasn't beat. Eagles definitely are the clear favorite to winning the East and possibly making the Super Bowl. Next one, I have the Vikings winning the North. And this is what's awesome about my list, is because those are the two I have clearly winning their division. And then after that, it's the wild card teams. So Cowboys in the wild card, then the Giants. I just don't see why you wouldn't put them on there. And then I got the Seahawks being the 7th team. The West definitely gave me back and forth kind of moods, but 49ers, I have them winning the West. And, I was bored. I was bored one day and was just going for the remaining schedules for the NFC South. I have the New Orleans Saints winning with a 7-10 record. With the Buccaneers
7-10.
The Bucks will be 6-11, and the Falcons, even though they're 4-4. And then I think the Panthers were 3-14. I think I had it. But yeah, I wish that the Saints could secure that 7th spot, because nobody in the South deserves to go far in the playoffs. So go ahead and get that playoff spot, get dominated in the first round of the playoffs, and leave it at that. But those who are the teams I have. Austin, let's start with you.
Yeah, so obviously in the East, the Eagles, I just don't see them not winning that division. They're solid all the way around.
And deep.
Yeah, they're deep. They're deep. And the North, unfortunately, Minnesota, like I said earlier, I don't think that's that hard to do right now. Maybe if Green Bay could get some receivers, but talking about those trades earlier, they didn't get nobody. So the South, I have Tampa Bay winning the South. That's just because I believe in Brady. I mean, if you look at him, he hasn't been playing his best, and everyone likes to talk on that just because they're so used to seeing him be so good and so dominant. But look what that dude's been going through like the past couple months, few months even, like he and yeah, he's still showing up, and he's still, what is he, 2nd in passing, I think?
Top 3.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you could hate on the man, but he's a winner for sure. So I have them winning above the Saints for sure. And then the West, I have San Francisco. I think Dallas will definitely get in there. The Giants, dude, they're coming back. Like the fourth quarter, dude. Somehow they turn it on and they decide to win. So I think they could get in there. The Seahawks, dude. Geno Smith has been surprising. Like I didn't think of like anything. I'm like, oh, Geno Smith, Seahawks are gonna suck. Pete Carroll's probably gonna lose his job. No, dude, he's balling out for sure. But like Flynn was saying, like, dude, he has DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So just throw the ball up to those dudes and they'll get it. So yeah, like Cooley was saying though, like the South it's tricky, dude, because if you look at their schedules, it's gonna be really close. And I think it's definitely gonna come down to like the last week or two. But like I said, Tom Brady's been there so much. I can't go against the man. You know what I mean? He's proved us all wrong so many times. So yeah, dude, that's who I got.
I think they had the Seahawks had a clear sweep with offensive rookie and defensive rookie of the months. And I forgot who the defensive player was, but Kenneth Walker. So
it's their cornerback. Their cornerback. I know.
Yeah,
I forget his name, but yeah, he's crushing it, dude. He's a real deal.
So, dude, Seahawks definitely are blowing my mind right now.
Yeah,
But
everybody's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grigsby.
Oh,
Grigsby, let's go with you.
I actually got all the same teams, man. The Eagles are crushing it. The Vikings are gonna win, you know, like, and then just bolster the offense a little bit more, you know, like build on your strengths, right? 49ers, they're 4-4 right now, but like, dude, they're clearly the best team in the West, right? Like, I mean, add CMC to that, and he immediately turns around and runs for a touchdown, catches a touchdown, and throws a touchdown. Like, dude, you got like Kyle Shanahan's one of the best chess players in the world, probably, and he's got one of the best chess pieces. So, they're gonna crush everybody. I got the Bucks, bro. Don't ever bet against Thomas. You know, was it Thomas Edward Patrick Brady? Apparently, you have to have Patrick in your name to be the GOAT. But
oh my God.
Hey, Patrick Mahomes, you know, whatever.
Here we go.
No, yeah. So don't ever bet against him. They're gonna pick it up. He's gonna find a way to win, dude. Like, he literally has given like I mean, he got divorced to continue to play football. He will figure it out, you know. I got the Seahawks. Geno Smith is crushing it. He's at this point, I don't even know if he's a dark horse MVP candidate, you know, like he's just in the conversation. Dude's balling. And then the Cowboys, they got a Super Bowl caliber defense. Dak's actually scoring some points now. That's a deadly combination, right? As long as they don't rely on Dak too much and they continue to run the ball, they have the potential to make a deep run. And then that last playoff spot, dude, I went back and forth for a long time. The Giants are really far ahead in record. It's going to come down to either the Giants or the Falcons, I think. Right. So like that's going to be the two, like, for that 7th spot. So I think the Giants are not going to do good on this. They've had a lot of stuff break their way this year, like those fourth quarter that you were talking about, you know, like they've had a lot of stuff break their way. And like, I just don't see that continuing to happen across the whole season. So I have the Giants in there right now, but the Falcons are right there knocking at the door.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm all the same, actually. I really didn't want to put Cowboys in. I wanted to say that it was going to be the Falcons. I don't like the Cowboys, but it is what it is. They have an easy schedule. They're going to get in.
Yeah.
The South, I think, is really the big topic here, just because Bucks look bad right now. Falcons are getting away with everything. Saints have the easy schedule. I mean, we all know Eagles are going to win the other division. The Niners are probably going to win the West. Vikings are clearly going to win the North. South, I really don't know. I want to root for Falcons, but at the same time, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. Saints, forget about their easy schedule. They just don't have a quarterback. I don't believe in Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton. They're just not going to get it done. So as much as I wanted to put Falcons, I had to put Bucks. It's just the way it is. So other than that, Giants, they're going to make it in just because they've got such a big lead. And, I mean, you got to give it to Danny Dimes. He's putting up some decent numbers. He's looking like a franchise quarterback. You know, there's a lot of question of whether or not he was the guy. I think Giants fans are saying yes right now. So, sure, we'll say they get in. Seahawks, Kenneth Walker is clear rookie of the year candidate. I mean,
For sure.
at this point, he's running away with it. It's really not even a question. So, yeah, they'll make it in. And then, like I said, the Cowboys, they're that 7th spot, and I hate it.
Dude, I don't know. Damian Pierce is surprising me.
Pierce has been going off too,
Actually
but
think that.
I mean,
He's doing good, but he's not on a winning team.
well,
Hey,
that
but
plus, I mean, what
which
have
should
the
make him a clear
past 3 weeks
favorite.
been for Walker?
Hmm?
The past 3 weeks for Walker, he's had over 100 yards, hasn't he?
No, yeah. I if I was to vote on it right now, I'd vote Walker.
Yeah.
Drake London sneakily doing better.
Pete
Mhm.
Pete Carroll came, like, I think it was in August or something. He came, like, there was an article I was reading or something, and he said, like, watch out for Walker, something like that. Like, he's not starting, but look out for him. And that actually made me draft that fool in all my fantasy leagues. I think I have him in almost all of them. But dude, right when what was it? When Penny went out, that man has went off.
Yeah.
sure.
And what happened to Chris Carson? Did he get traded? Did he get released? Like what
Didn't he
exactly happened to
retire?
that dude? He
I want to say
retired?
he retired early. He was having like some type of health
give me
problem.
about
Look
15
it up.
seconds.
I'm not sure, but I want to say that's what it was.
Chris Carson, NFL. By the way, I Dad just got us tickets to Rams versus Bucks for this upcoming weekend.
Hey, I'm going to
That'll
Rams.
be fun.
I'm going to Rams
That-
Chiefs.
that's gonna be a good game. I
Yeah, he
really
retired after
hope
5 seasons.
I really hope Bucks go to a 3-6 record
Due to
after
neck
this
injury.
weekend, but what?
Chris Carson retired after 5 seasons due to neck injury. Right.
That's what it was. Yeah, because I remember I had him last year or 2 years ago, and he was just sitting on my bench the entire time. That needs to be Keenan Allen after this season. Like, dude, just retire, man. If you're not playing an entire season, or like, he's played only 2 games so far.
Who, Thomas?
I'm talking about Keenan Allen.
Keenan
Michael
Allen
Thomas
hasn't played.
definitely needs to retire.
Keenan Allen hasn't played at all this year, I don't think.
He played, but
He played.
only
He
put up
played
like two.
first
He put up
week.
like 2.1 points 1 week. So I'm like, dude, just be done
So
for the
he didn't
season,
play.
possibly retire. I'm tired of seeing that dude. That's why I traded him away in my fantasy league. But all right, let's get down to our top 5 after week 8. I mean, we're still seeing upsets. NFL is so unpredictable at this point. I'm sure we probably have the same top 3 right now after week 8, but my number 5, I'm finally going to put them on here, and I hope I'm jinxing them, but Dallas Cowboys at number 5. I'm finally putting them on the list, but only at 5 because of the teams they have played. Like, dude, you're beating the teams you're supposed to beat, and you're losing to teams you're supposed to beat, or you're supposed to lose to. So, I mean, like, surprise us. Go up against a team like the Eagles or the Chiefs, and I don't know, go back and forth with them, or possibly win. But you want us to cheer for you guys, even though you beat a Bears team. Like, come on now. And defense can still protect, but put Pollard in there as running back 1. I'm tired of seeing Zeke. Let's have a little spark in the offense. If I'm going to be a Cowboys fan, put in Pollard as running back 1. So I got him at 5. Number 4, I still got to go with the Vikings. You know, they're at a 5-game winning streak, including wins against the Dolphins and the Cardinals, and arguably top 5 offense in the NFL. You got Cook in the backfield and weapons like Thielen, Jefferson, and now TJ Hawkinson. That's going to be a pretty good offense to hopefully avoid if you're going against them. So I got him at 4. Number 3, it's still the Kansas City Chiefs. Other than adding Tony to their receiving core. No major changes after coming off their bye week. So that's why they didn't go up. They didn't go down. If they fix their backfield, their offense can definitely take them to the AFC Championship 100%. So Chiefs at 3. Bills, I dropped them down to number 2. I bumped them down only because of their small hiccup in the fourth quarter against the Packers, but Josh Allen is still the best quarterback in the NFL, and Von Miller will possibly help lift the Bills defense past the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. It's going to be that matchup again, but for the AFC Championship, and that's also a toss-up. So who knows? And then, of course, I got the only undefeated team in the NFL right now, and that's the Eagles at number 1. You know, they straight up embarrassed my Steelers. I took the game off the TV around 13 minutes into the first quarter. Like, that's how bad it was. I just straight up just stopped watching it. I highly regretted trading AJ Brown to Patrick Grigsby, but AJ Brown but AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league, if not close second behind Diggs and Gabe Davis. But yeah, only undefeated team in the league. And if you take a look at their remaining schedule, they could possibly run the regular season with a 17-0 record. I think, if I remember correctly, the remaining schedule, the starting quarterbacks, they gave the Eagles, or they gave the opposing team a 44% chance. That was the highest percentage for the Eagles as far as losing that game. So, and I forgot which one it was. I would have to go back. Probably the Cowboys, but 56% chance of beating the Cowboys. I'll take that for sure. But that's my list. Let's start with. I want to start with Grigsby because he'll probably have the Chiefs in there, but I want to end it.
So yeah, I was actually, I was like looking into this quite a bit. The Eagles, like, they haven't lost yet, right? Like, they're undefeated. So yeah, I got them at number 1, man. Like I said, they've been crushing people. They've been winning. Like, I mean, they've been won big a couple times too, right? They throttled the Cowboys pretty good, even though it was Cooper Rush. They're deep too. Like, their D line, dude. They got Jordan Davis in rotation. Like, he's not a starter. He's in rotation. Like, it's deep. But then I got the Bills at 2. They did beat the Chiefs head up, even though like we had like 3 defensive starters out and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So I know they got some injuries too, right? So, but they don't win when they need to. So Josh Allen's actually on the hot seat, I would say, right? Because like everybody's like, oh, Josh Allen's the best quarterback in football, right? Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen still doesn't have MVP. He still doesn't have a Super Bowl appearance, right? So like, you're hyping him up, and he's just hasn't done nothing. But and I got the Chiefs at 3 right now. We just got Trent McDuffie off IR. We got Willie Gay back from suspension, which is a big piece in the middle. So that defense will be a little bit better over these next couple weeks. I got the Vikings at 4, although this probably, honestly, out of all the teams, I had them at 4 because they got a good record. I think they're better than the Giants. They can move the ball around better as long as Dalvin Cook stays healthy. I think they will be they have a chance to make a deep playoff run and maybe upset the Eagles or something like that. I know they got throttled by them earlier in the season, but that was without TJ Hawkinson, right? And so I can see in your eyes, bro. And then unfortunately, I do have the Cowboys at 5. Like I said, that defense is freaking scary, dude. That defense, like, when you look at your schedule, like, even if Cooper Rush is a quarterback, like, shit, you got to play the Cowboys. Like, where the hell is Micah Parsons? You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's Micah Parsons.
Like, where is this dude? Like, is he a linebacker? Is he outside? Is he on the inside? Like, I mean, like, dude, he's so versatile, man. It's insane. That dude is like going to be the next like Aaron Donald, like, moving forward. You know what I'm like, as far as being the best defensive player out there. TJ Watt's coming back, obviously, right? But like, he's that dude. that is a scary dude. Diggs is actually playing better and better on the back end, not just like picking the ball off and then giving up 6 touchdowns. He's actually playing better as a corner. But yeah, that's what I got right now. It's my top 5. Yeah, that it's that 5th spot, man. There's a bunch. Like I almost put the Ravens there, but Bateman's out for the year now. I don't like that. So yeah, I got them right there right now. And the Ravens don't play football in the 4th quarter.
Ryan, let's go over to you.
Yeah, so I didn't want to put Cowboys. Once again, I gave them enough love and them making playoffs. And really, I just don't see them being a top team. And it's because there's no connection on offense, it feels like. That defense is great. Micah Parsons specifically is amazing, but I just don't see that offense making them a top 5 team. So instead, I put the biggest offensive player there is right now, just about Dolphins.
Solid.
They added Chubb. I think that's big. Sure, their record isn't great right now, but if you take away the games where Tua was injured, they're undefeated. I mean, there was that one game where he played half a game, and then they lost, but he was not there that game. You take away the other 2, he was gone. The Dolphins are undefeated. I mean, it's kind of weird to think that Tua is that guy, but he's making a difference on whether or not they win. So I have him at 5. Vikings picking up TJ was just huge. They're my number 4. It's weird to even say that. I don't know. Vikings just doesn't seem like a team that could do it, especially with Kirk Cousins, who's afraid to play under the big lights. But they have so much talent. And Zadarius Smith was an absolutely huge pickup this season that we found out. Yeah, absolutely.
That dude is crushing it.
He is, and I knew he was, and I've got a good friend who's a Packers fan, and he wasn't worried about it. He's like, oh, well, we have other players, it's not going to be a big deal. No, it absolutely is a huge deal. Zadarius Smith is going off, and now you guys don't have that. Yeah, and then the top 3, I mean, we all know which 3 it is. The order is all that matters, and I have Chiefs 3. They lost the Bills. We got to accept that. I think they have the potential to be higher, especially because those corners are playing unreal for their age. I mean, we got the steal of the draft in Watson. So I think they could get higher, but right now they're still 3. I have Eagles 2, just because their schedule has been a little bit easier. They're absolutely killing people that they play, but they're also, you've got Giants second in that division with 2 losses. The Giants. So I'm not impressed just with their schedule overall. Bills, they're number 1. Packers aren't a bad team, and they stepped on them like a bug. They really did. Bills are number 1. They're going to probably stay there for most of the season.
But before I give it over to Austin, I think it was a Barstool that said the Dolphins are 0-3 the Dolphins are 5-0 undefeated when Tua doesn't die.
Yeah, when Tua doesn't die.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, that's unbelievable that thing didn't get deleted. It probably did, but that was funny to post. Austin, what do you think?
So I have all the same top 5 teams. I think that's pretty clear cut. The only solid.
Who's your 5th?
What?
Who's your 5th?
My 5th, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I think I was gonna say though, like Kansas City at number 3. I think that's like they're the 3rd team. I think 1 and 2 could go either way, and 4 and 5 can go either way. So I have the Vikings at 5. Them getting Hawkinson, they could jump into that 4th position pretty easy. Where I have the Cowboys. Yeah, like you talking, the Giants are behind them, and it's like. They beat the Giants. So anyway, Kansas City, dude, they got Patrick Mahomes, and I don't want to give him too many shout outs like Patrick does, but that dude, he could just do things that you're like, what the hell? Like, you just can't ever count that guy out, man. So Kansas City at 3, and then 1 and 2. I also have the Bills at number 1, and the Eagles at number 2. And it's similar to what Flynn was saying. Like the Eagles' schedule is not that hard. The Bills have beat some like really, I mean,
Really good
they
teams.
they beat the Rams, who I think, they're not the best this year, but like they got talent. They beat the Chiefs. The Eagles beat the Vikings. That's like, that's the only thing they have going for them. You know what I mean? They haven't really played anybody else. They beat the Lions. I mean, that's pretty hard to do. So I think, I think Bills for sure, number 1 team. And then, Eagles at 2. So Bills, Eagles, KC, Cowboys, and Vikings. Same top 5 as all you guys got, but a little bit different order. And like I said, I think 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 could go either way, but KC's definitely the third best.
So, and I'm glad that you guys pointed out the easy schedule for the Eagles, really, to have the Bills at 1. The only loss that they had was Miami, and it was in Miami where they had that freaking 120 temperature, and they had most of their starters out.
And so like the way the field was set up, Buffalo was in the sun all day, and Miami was in the shade, right?
Yeah.
So like you're coming from like being 2 weeks away from snow in Buffalo to searing southern Florida heat.
Yeah.
So you take that
definitely agree
loss
with you.
away in like they're both undefeated. If you got the Bills and the Eagles both undefeated right now, I don't think there's a question who you would pick. Who's the better team, right?
Bro, the Eagles are good, dude. They're deep. They have a weaker
I mean,
schedule.
but because
It's definitely Bills.
Buffalo's secondary is pretty beat up, dude. Like they have a lot of injuries on defense. Like they're still.
But when you got their offense though, like dude, like look at the AFC Championship game last year, bro. Like if they get scored on, they're just going to score right away. So like that, it's important.
Talking about the Bills, they didn't play in the AFC Championship. They lost in the divisional.
Oh, the division. I'm sorry, the division.
Everybody thought it was AFC Championship.
I had to catch myself on that one
It was
too.
a great game. It should have been.
I had to catch myself too. It's all good.
That really was the AFC Championship for sure.
It definitely was.
Yeah, it should have been. But either way, like that's what I'm saying. Like they can just score no matter what. So like, yeah, their defense is important, but if you got their offense, like I just don't see like if the Bills and the Eagles are playing each other, I don't think the Eagles are going to beat them.
See, I think they both have weapons, but it comes down to who's throwing those weapons the ball. You got Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Don't get me wrong, I think Hurts is good, but Josh Allen is way better. And he's still got Diggs, Davis. I mean, he's still got weapons, and nobody talked about the trade for Naheem Hines. I mean, Hines in that backfield it's a jump. You've got somebody quick now instead of just slow guys that can get you 3-4 yards on the run.
A big difference
is great, but he's
a big difference is the Eagles can actually run the ball though. Buffalo, outside of Josh Allen, Buffalo cannot run the ball.
So
now that they have Hines, that they can actually open up what type of runs they do. They can do more. Pretty limited with.
I don't disagree with that. They can do more with Hines.
It sucks for the Bills though because they already have that kind of running back in Devin Singletary. Singletary and Hines have the same kind of playbook, just those kind of little dumb passes.
I disagree because Singletary's running game, he's going up the middle.
Yeah,
it is, but it's almost like Singletary can have those kind of routes, I think, and Hines just has the built in him to get more yards than Singletary when it comes to those kind of plays.
I think he's a lot quicker. A lot faster, and you can do a little bit more with that. It's going to have to be a changeup for Hines because he's going to be running the ball more. But if they can start hitting him on the pitches and outside runs and keep doing the same exact thing they're doing with Singletary, I think it's a big thing they can mix in.
It's another piece. That was definitely a solid addition. I don't disagree with that.
I'm also just defending Singletary because I have him in 3 of my fantasy leagues.
Now
I don't think they're going to change Singletary's workload.
So Buffalo actually reached out to New Orleans about Kamara. If they would have got Kamara, that would have been that would have been so that would have been a bigger deal than CMC going to the 49ers. Like that's how
definitely.
Yeah,
that's the only missing piece for the Bills.
Kamara's a bigger piece to the offense than than he is. Yeah.
Well, they just have like it's the difference of having Jimmy G and Josh Allen, right? Like you're adding CMC to help Jimmy G not be bad compared to you're adding Kamara with Josh Allen. That's scary, bro.
So Flynn has a hat on, Austin has a hat on, Grigsby has a hat on.
Finally found one.
We gotta do some cap or no cap. I only got one, and it's more directed towards Austin and his Lions.
That's sad.
No, because I have so much respect for Dan Campbell, and I wanted them to do good this year. So far, nothing has really improved, but cap or no cap, Lions will have 6 wins or more at the end of the season.
Golly, bro. I think they will. I still think they will. I mean, like, look at their, like we were talking earlier about their schedule, man. They've lost 4 games by 4 less points. I know a win is a win, but like they're winning all those games and they just can't finish, dude. So we'll get that letter down. We'll send it off to Mr. Campbell, who I also really respect. I think he's good for them. I think that's exactly what Detroit needs.
That's
like,
that's
how they need to play. He just needs to finish. He just needs finish. That needs to be their word, not grit. Like they got the grit. They need to finish, bro, because they did the same stuff last year. Like they almost won.
I think it was 7 or 9 games they lost by less than 3.
As he muted.
I can hear him.
You got muted.
It was going on a rant, and then we had to censor
Try to
him.
click a button.
Yeah, right. You started talking about the Lions winning, bro, and it shut them down.
Right? No, it says my internet's unstable, man. They hear me. Unstable like the Lions.
Right.
But yeah, I really, because I watched Hard Knocks as well, and dude, Dan Campbell was the missing piece to just Lions overall, not just offense but defense as well, special teams. But him saying man 17 times in one sentence, that man.
Yeah. I mean, too, you look at the Lions record, like to get to 6 wins. So we're talking 5 more wins, dude. They got the Packers, the Bears, the Giants. Then they got the Bills, Jaguars, Vikings, Jets, Panthers, Bears. I mean,
There's like 3 or 4 in there that's like they got a shot. Really, they have a shot against the Packers, dude. The Packers.
I think they got a shot. They got a shot against most people. They suck on defense.
They can't finish.
I picked them to beat the Packers this week.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think they're going to beat the Packers. I think the Packers are just broken, but I'm always going to say the Lions are going to win, dude. Would I be a fan if I didn't? I mean,
so is that
dedication?
I was going to say, saying that the Packers are broken is kind of like the pot calling the kettle black, huh?
I mean, hey, they got more wins, bro, right? Don't they?
They lit them in the VIP section.
You what?
I said you lit them in the VIP section of the broken teams.
Welcome in.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
That's the thing, though. Like, I don't have to call nothing black because, like, the Lions have sucked my entire life, bro. So, like, I can say anyone sucks, and it's like, dude, I'm wearing a Lions hat and a Lions shirt. So, like, what?
Takes one to know one, right?
Exactly. I can swat them.
Hey, bro, we Chiefs fans, dog. Until recently, it's been pretty rough for us too.
One of these days.
Grigsby, did you have any?
Yeah, so I got two, and so I'll open this up to everybody, right? And actually, so
wait, real quickly, Ryan, Austin, do you have any? Or are we going to close out with Pat?
Ryan's got one too.
Oh man, I don't even remember what it is. I'll say the one thing. I'll give you one. With both these trades going on, you've got the Niners and the Dolphins both making a big point that they want to be Super Bowl at least competitors. Cap or no cap, one of them makes it to the Super Bowl.
Cap.
Dolphins and 49ers.
Dolphins and 49ers, just one of them.
Cap.
I don't know. I think
the Niners can. I think
it depends on who stays healthy. I think either one of them can. I'm still going to say cap. I don't think either one of them will, but I definitely think they both have a chance.
It depends on
I don't think
who
CMC is
on
going to
what
stay
the
healthy.
matchup is.
I don't
If
wish
they make it
injuries
to
on
the
anybody.
conference championship and it's somebody like the fucking Cowboys, then yeah, that 49ers will make it to the
The
Super Bowl.
thing is it's statistically proven that the teams that get the first overall seed typically don't make the Super Bowl.
Hey, bro, you leave the
So if
Titans
that's the
alone.
Eagles, then who's second in line there? The Niners. Like, and to me, it's just the Niners after that. So, like, I could definitely see the Niners making it. If the
Yeah.
Eagles don't, who else is?
You're right.
I think the Cowboys down the stretch probably have a better shot of making the Super Bowl than the
Go wash your mouth. No, sir. Absolutely not. You can't have the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't have them going to the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles. If you look at our previous episodes, our first Super Bowl pick is the Chiefs versus the Eagles. That's my Super Bowl. I'm still riding with that. So like it's still working.
I disagreed with that very much, by the way. That wasn't my first.
Well, you picked the Steelers.
Hey, all I'm saying is no.
It's the NIL Super Bowl.
They're demoting to college and they're playing in the toilet bowl.
Right. All right, I got two for you guys. All right, first one. So Tyreek Hill has like 960 some yards through like 8 games, right? He's on
All right,
pace
where
to
this is
grab
going.
2,100 receiving yards this year. Cap or no cap, Hill breaks Megatron's record.
No way.
Cap.
Yeah,
He's got an extra game.
that's true, but I just don't. With Waddle, dude. Like, I mean, they're both getting massive yards. It doesn't matter, but I just I don't see
combined. If you combine their yards, right? So like that, they are actually. So you were talking about best receiver duos, right?
They got
so they
more
have
than like 9 other teams total.
Yeah, right. So they have like 1,600 yards combined together, like just those two. And then like the next closest duo is like 1,200 yards. Like they're significantly in front of everybody as far
I'm
as
not
that is
hating
by
on.
far the best wide receiver duo in football right now.
Yeah,
You're talking about production.
They just do that because there's no run game, so they got to rely on those two.
Hey, they got Jeff Wilson now, and Mostert's been doing better. Not
and
Mostert,
I just got Mostert from you.
I don't think he's gonna beat it, but
I'm going no cap, dude. I think he's gonna do it. He's
I think he's gonna get hurt. They're running him too much. He's gonna get hurt. He can't keep that pace for this long.
As long as those hamstrings stay in one piece, he's gonna be all right. He's a tough dude, bro. He's fought injuries before. So we got Cap all the way around.
Oh yeah.
All right. Second one. Cap or no cap? Tom Brady retires at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Throwing the hell out of that, Pat.
Nah, I don't think so, bro.
Dude,
he just said. I just saw something he just said. Like, I'm gonna see if I can try to find it while you guys talk about.
He's not retiring. He said he would but they asked him about retiring like in the middle of the season, I think.
Yeah. He did say that there's
no plans
No
of
way.
retirement or something like that. Bro, he just left his wife. Like
but you think if say the Bucks miss the playoffs and go like 6 and 11. You think he's coming back?
He's got to come back after that. He's not going to go out on a season like that.
I feel like if they do good and he
makes
going to
get better,
then he'll possibly retire. But if they do bad, he's coming back. He's trying to leave on.
He didn't leave his wife to go 6 and 11. He's got to finish on more than that.
If they don't get at least 9 wins, I bet he retires.
See,
remember his goal a couple years ago was to play to 45. Well, he's 45 now, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around. I think if he gets 9 or more wins and makes the playoffs, then he'll retire because he at least finished on top, right? Like, even if it isn't a Super Bowl, he finished with a good season. If he's losing, he's not going to be comfortable losing with that. He can't go out with that.
Oh, but you don't like it, especially.
But that's how all of them go out, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're all like,
I'm the season though. He's got to give it another try before he gives up now.
Honestly, he's gonna be like Brett Favre, bro. He's gonna go to another team. He's gonna
exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I put the hat back on, because I see more of him going to a different team than retiring.
Yeah, but you said
I still have a lot more in me.
Hey, all right. So actually, that just brought up another. So if he doesn't retire, Tom Brady, cap or no cap, Tom Brady goes to the 49ers.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, they gave up all those picks for Trey Lance, bro. They got no way.
That's where he wanted to go, dude. Well, he wanted to go to the Dolphins too.
That dude's
I think
on like a world tour or something. He went from New England to Tampa and then
He's from the
East
Bay
Coast to
Area.
West Coast.
Yeah, he's from the Bay Area.
Like, dude, and he keeps saying that he loves Florida so much. I don't see why. I mean, dude,
You got
you're
that
in,
avocado tequila, bro.
From what I've seen, he had a pretty good time at Disneyland.
but I and especially with these new rules in the NFL, just protecting the cover boys, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and all them, he's gonna get more passing yards, more passing touchdowns because of these kind of rules. These roughing the passer penalties that are just setting the guy down. If you don't have a pillow or blanket right there ready for them, it's gonna be a penalty.
To be fair, they've never had quarterbacks play to their 45 either.
True. Unless you're Brett Favre, right? What? How old was he?
I don't know. He was old. He was up there.
He wasn't
I don't know.
40.
He wasn't 45.
I wasn't 45, but he was
Wasn't
up there. I
45.
think he made it to 40.
He's pretty
Yeah,
close to
he
40.
looked about 62
That
though.
man looks
Yeah,
60.
he did look about 62.
41. He was 41.
41. See, that's crazy. Brady's definitely going to these kind of shops and just making him look younger, because that dude does not look 45.
Yeah,
I
he
think it
looks
was
like
Giselle. She had to find a youth. She's gonna stop sharing with him now. He's about to age about 20 years in two.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's gonna take all the money and run, dude. She's richer than him anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
by a lot.
No, yeah, by a lot. But like, if number wise, I think it's like 50 million or something like that.
Well-
Her net worth is more.
Right. Well, is by a little bit right now. As soon as Tom Brady retires, he will be richer because he has that $400 million Fox Sports contract, or 375 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And he'll definitely be an analyst
Well, I
Yeah,
think that's a little
right
off
after,
topic
right after he
too.
retires.
Just because he retires, he's still gonna be gone all the time. So it's like, I think she finally realized, hey, bro, like
Right.
you're gonna leave football,
Right.
but you're still gonna go to all these football games. You know what I mean? He's not ever gonna come home.
You married the greatest football player in human history. Let him finish.
Hey,
He ain't finished.
happy wife, happy life.
Say that to his
Griggs-
wings, dog.
Grigsby should know about that.
I
Austin
can't
should know about
hear
that.
you. Like,
But yeah, I think that is it. We're definitely going to see how this week goes. But thank you to Ryan, Austin, of course, Patrick, for coming on here this week. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
hey,
Yeah, thanks
go
for having
like,
me.
follow, and subscribe below. All right. Capping at the
Yes.
Bay. Both on Instagram,
Like and
Facebook,
subscribe on
everything.
YouTube, follow on Spotify. Until then, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Sir.